Hey everyone, welcome to Dash Attacks Old White Road here for our 30th episode. Like 30 freaking episodes. We've done it. Like we didn't know how long this show was gonna last, and here we are, 30 fucking episodes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you still allowed not to say that word before? Well, anyway, welcome everyone.
See, look, folks, Dash is so confident now, he's breaking YouTube rules.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there goes breaking TOS.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But it's great to see everyone. We've been doing this for, I think, just over 30 weeks, folks. Episode 50, episode 52 will be the 1 year anniversary of this. Welcome to the Cartoon News Network. I thought that'd be an interesting name for the show. But I'm very tired. And I also like clown sluts now because of Jason John.
Yes, that is a whole new
Yeah, Diggy
rabbit
was
hole.
telling me about his clown fetish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic, folks.
Wait, Digby
It's
has a clown
absolutely-
fetish?
Apparently.
Damien, why don't you put on some white yourself up and put on some clown makeup and a dress? Okay? How about you do that?
If you want me to dress up, it'll need to be like the pictures I sent Dash.
Oh,
See,
no.
Oh shit. Damien.
See, look, as much as we complain about OnlyFans thoughts, one of them is actually on our panel. So,
Oh, boy.
Fuck you.
He wanted to
it's-
really. He'll just send me pictures of his new lingerie, just randomly.
right.
Jesus.
That's very inappropriate, Damien. That's very don't
I look
send another
fantastic.
man. You cannot be sending another man twink images through DMs, okay?
Oh, should I show it to him in person?
Therefore, I must moderate your content uploads by scanning them first.
Oh, boy.
You have to verify your age and personal information with Digny.
Yes.
It's for my
Because he wants to
protection.
see it all.
It's for
I'm
my
an old
protection.
26-year-old.
First of all, I don't know why Dash's background won't come up. It's black for some reason.
Really?
First of
It's
all-
Yeah.
No, let me try changing backgrounds. How's
we gotta
this one?
feel. We no the
Not
actual
that, not that
band,
one.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
the
did
background.
Streamlabs do this? I bet
Yeah.
you it was because of a fucking update. Like that Naruto thing is gone. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I feel sorry for Galaxy Red who's in the chat because Galaxy has some of the worst luck imaginable. He now has
Yeah.
power issues as well as computer issues, and we feel you, Galaxy.
They're paywalling the fucking background now. Fuck you,
Oh.
StreamYards.
What I
Where's
think
the
may have
turkey?
what I think may have happened is that I've said a few spicy things while Dignity and Galaxy have been on panels, and Mr. Sir President Benjamin Netanyahu keeps hitting the wrong button to hit the wrong guy. He's blowing up Digny's kitchen. He's taking Galaxy Red's energy. Like,
Yep.
my
He's
fault. My
giving-
bad.
He's
Oh.
giving Juju come to Damien. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
have to
I-
pay $35 fucking a month for a simple like Nard weeb background. Like,
You can make
fuck
us
you.
bigger, Dash. Why don't you? Because just below the screen there are different. There we go. Just make
Yeah,
it
just
bigger, and when
inflate us.
Neku, when Neku pops in, that'll be 6, and it'll fill up.
No.
It'll fill up the screen. But it's great to see everyone. We're hoping that the Galaxy Red gets his systems fixed as. Did I hear singing? As soon as possible. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome. It's great to have Xeen back for an hour because the times have corrected properly. We're going to catch up with the chat, then we're going to catch up with the panel. Great to see Jace, Galaxy, Endless. Great to see Dash
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hugo and the Lieutenant or Lieutenant, depending on your perspective. And it's great to see me as well. In 4 days, folks, the warning on my YouTube channel will be gone, and I've got about 30 videos just waiting to be released. In fact, I forgot a few videos that I had released on YouTube, but I hadn't published them. It'd been like a few weeks, and then I published 2 of them. One of them got a handful of views. The other one got about 300 views in 2 days, and it was "America Sank My Battleship," one of Stock of Iron's network videos, where he read about a Babylon Bee article turning all sorts of navies into submarines, and it did very well. So high hopes as we move into the rest of April, into May, and into the summer period, where it's going to get hot, and Damien's going to get a suntan. Isn't that right, Damien?
I would love tan lines for certain reasons.
See, look, like dirty bastard, isn't he? Do you think he goes to the medical stores and gets that whitening cream that Indians like putting on themselves? Do you think Damien does that?
Knowing him, he would just put that on just to make himself a little more whiter.
I thought you knew me better than that.
Because Damien's not a white South African. He's not a black South African. He's one of those like Indian ones whose family came from India. He's like Nikki Haley's son, but as a VTuber.
I hate that is a description I cannot refute.
See, look. See, look.
Yeah,
He's
but you're not a
Haley as a
neocon.
twink. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate everyone for being here. Neku's going to be here in the next few minutes.
Yep.
The reason why we're stalling is because our first topic was directly recommended by Neku. So
Yeah, you're not supposed to say that.
well, I just did. What are you going to do?
I can't do anything. I can't really do anything. But yeah, we are. The plan was to stall, but like we still have 3 minutes left to stall.
Yep, and we'll stall even more by catching up with the panel. So, Dash, how have you been?
I've been good. Like just haven't released any videos this week, but I'm back to playing Fire Emblem, weaning off Crimson Desert a bit. And but we'll probably play it tonight just to catch up on the game. I don't know. I think most people have stopped streaming it by now. But other than that, yeah, I've been pretty good.
Excellent. Xeen, great to have you back. How have you been?
Yeah, great. I had my 1-year anniversary back on April the 4th. Just basically been streaming almost a whole year straight, except when I finally decided to take Sundays as days off.
How many days do you stream?
6 out of 7.
Jesus, and I'm complaining about 5.
6-7, bruh. 6-7.
Don't bring that Zoomer shit here.
Hey, Dash, don't offend the people you're dating. But no, let's be serious, folks. I've been doing well, but I'm really tired. And that means one of two things. Either I get very offensive, or I get really nasty. And I am trying so much to not be offensive and nasty, especially on this show, because this is my favorite show. I know Jace isn't going to like hearing that, but Fridays are my favorite. Because it's like being in a massive closet. Like this entire show is in a massive closet.
I know something you wish was in your closet that is not currently here. And this might help with his crankiness a little bit, guys. This is Digny's new fascination.
Oh, damn. I will admit that that is a great pair. But yeah, I'm not into clowns.
Even better. She looks wonderful.
You know why he likes her? Because on top of the fact that he just likes the whole aesthetic, Atreus is afraid of clowns.
That's what he said, yes.
Yeah, and also you can get away with doing whiteface. Can't get away.
Like Drewski.
Yeah, so the best clown slut, folks, is a black woman in whiteface. So Candace Owens. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
Christ.
Dash, make us bigger.
All right.
Make us bigger. There we go. That way people can see us. But how about you, Jace? How have you been?
Well, just been busy. Had some work to do in the morning. Had some errands to run. Girlfriend's coming over later. She is not dressed like a clown, thank God. But yeah, so just figured I'd fill in for our poor friend Galaxy Red, who is in the chat, dealing with a constant barrage of issues. Which hopefully he'll be back next week and be back better than ever, man. But yeah, just hanging in there. Just came off a great Cancelous Podcast episode that was sure to offend many people. I'm sure if the clown slut didn't get everybody mad, various topics we covered may have. We actually watched in full Emily Eukas's The JD Vance Show, which is the successor to the Will Stansel Show. And review that. We can get away with a lot of things that we cannot get away with on YouTube over on Rumble, which is why I'm over there. I'm too crude for YouTube most of the time. But I don't mess up or nuke anyone's channel yet. All right, knock on wood.
Yeah. Luckily, I've been having a little bit more luck with YouTube. It's just copyrighted material they normally get me on. They don't normally community strike me. They have not done so yet.
We were discussing a little bit of that yesterday. That that YouTube has sort of eased up and it's sort of put some more pressure on these alternate platforms, because if YouTube does not slap people down, there's no reason for people to move to other platforms, which causes a conundrum for all of them.
That's why competition is good. It keeps YouTube in line.
Basically, I'm still super saddle bent on YouTube. Like anything I post, 0 impressions. I can look under stats of the video, 0 impressions. I'm like, all right, bye YouTube. I'm on Rumble.
Well, I've always had the opposite problem to Dash, right? In that I've never had a copyright issue. Never. Never. My issue is that I'm so desperate for material to make videos for that I will talk about anything and everything, including dangerous things, because they're more likely to get more viewership, especially on a platform like YouTube. So you better be careful, Damien. I know you're getting well liked on YouTube. They will Thanos you the moment you come out as straight. But what was
Xeen
that,
Xeen is getting a lot more traction on Rumble these days, and Falcom should cut that man a check the way he's doing their free advertising, playing all the Trails games, man. Because he's giving them free advertising. I mean, I've seen other people pick up Falcom games ever since Xeen actually started streaming more of the Falcom games. So it's creating a trend. They got to they got to cut that man a check.
Well, the problem is it will be NIS America or Gunho, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I could see you dressed as a cowboy, Xeen, going gun-ho in that game you're playing. I could see that. I can see so
that's
many.
The publisher for the remake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Niz hasn't been having a very good recent track record with some of their shit.
Well, Ubisoft recently released a new game that I know definitely came from Tencent, because it does not scream as an Ubisoft game. It's on Steam right now on sale, and it's very cheap. It's like a cheap man's Devil May Cry, and it looks gorgeous.
I was talking about that with Scooby Pup Saturday. I said the fact that this is an Ubisoft game, people are going to be like, I can't believe it. It's an Ubisoft game that doesn't have lesbians or black guys race swapping a role that's meant for somebody else, or other various stupidity. Some nightmare fuel Attack on Titan team DLC that nobody likes.
Open world RPG that's pretending to be a stealth game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an action RPG. Let me see if I can find it. In the meantime, folks, let's check in on Damien. How have you been, Damien?
I've been very well. I got my most recent purchase of Finboy clothing, so I'm good.
I'm sorry, what?
And femboy clothes,
What are those?
women's clothing, obviously.
Oh boy.
So you have just admitted live on the network that you wear women's clothes.
That comes with being a femboy. I don't think I denied it.
Dare I ask what type of women's clothes?
Oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
All of
Oh,
it is very explicit. I can certainly tell you that.
What?
It's explicit.
I'm stunned, folks. I'm stunned that a member of the network live has admitted that not only does he wear women's clothing, like young women's clothing.
What makes me laugh is that somehow, without his picture moving, you could feel Digny's reaction through the screen.
Yes.
I'm just thinking to myself, why?
I look good in women's clothing.
Well, you're gonna have to send me a few pictures then to prove it.
Get your clown makeup ready, Damien. Get your clown makeup ready.
Look,
Listen,
guys.
Dash can vouch for me. Dash can vouch.
Oh yeah, I was.
What,
You
vouch
sent
that you
him
sent me
pictures.
the pictures without me asking for them? Yes, I can
Mhm.
vouch that you did that.
Vouch for how good I look in them. That's what I'm saying.
It's
yeah, well-
disturbing. It's on so many levels. It's disturbing, right?
Mhm.
And I know Damien can take it better than Dash, so I'm just going to lay this out to you, Damien. Right? Why are you?
Uh-huh.
What? You go into a store, right? And yes, Neku, get in here, otherwise
Yeah.
this will turn into a fucking rant. You go into the store, right? This is South Africa, mind you. This isn't a Western country. You go into a store
Oh boy.
and you ask the clerk, yeah, can I have some women's clothing, please? And I'm amazed they don't just shoot you.
Oh, Digby. Digby, you presume too much. I order online.
See, look, he orders them from some faraway land. He orders Californian clothing halfway across the world so that he can look like some tart on the streets of South Africa. Who are you trying to woo? An AIDS patient?
No,
Oh,
just
boy.
all the white.
You.
I'm just trying to woo all the white.
Oh boy.
I shouldn't berate Damien. He ended his
Look.
show so he could be on the show. So I shouldn't.
Yes,
I shouldn't
I could
berate.
leave. I could leave
Digny
at
is
this
just
very moment. You know, I could leave right now.
Digny is just concerned for you because if you ever came to his neighborhood, you might get killed by a dog.
Yes, Cardiff Classic is very dangerous. Okay, it's very dangerous. This is what I like about people. I like their unique aspects. And Damien, you're the first creator I've ever encountered who has publicly acknowledged that you buy and wear women's clothes, and that you also send pictures of yourself wearing women's clothes to another man without his consent. So that's isn't that technically harassment, Dash?
I
It's
let
not-
it slide. I honestly let it slide because I like Damien.
You
Oh,
let
no,
it
no, no,
slide
no,
because you like
listen,
it. But
yeah, because he likes it.
so on that note, does anyone else have anything to confess? Xeen, do you have anything to confess since we're getting
No.
things off our chest?
Neku, come on, get out. This panel's deteriorating.
Yeah,
say
it's
that
about to
like a bad-
implode.
You say that like the panel doesn't deteriorate as soon as we go live.
Well,
Yeah,
I got a new
true.
toy, and it's
But
not the
that's
type
what
of
makes
toys
the
that
show
Damien are
really-
into. I got a new extra portable monitor, real cheap, on Amazon because I actually got paid money for once for my jobs that pay me in pesos. That's so that I can basically do most of what I do here when I'm not here, when I'm stuck in the office and stuck waiting for 2 hours of traffic to fuck off. I can actually now basically have an away team set up. Although it does look like Anne Frank's floorboards in the office. So I got to figure out the lighting.
Yeah.
But aside from that, at least I have more options to be able to do things when I'm not here. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm very used to being portable because of the fact like I don't have a desktop, I have laptops and everything else because I used to be on the go all the time, and then COVID happened, and on the go sort of happened a lot less often. Yeah.
Whole hell has broken loose in the last 5 to 6 years, folks, right? And if you're wondering why some of the panel is being a bit pervy, it links to our first topic, which is in regards to journos being pervs for child movies. Now, I'm just going to write that for 2010, because
I guess
2010
we'll
was...
Yeah, I guess we'll have to move without Neku.
Yeah, poor guy.
Shit.
I wonder what he's doing.
I'm wondering what's holding him up. He didn't say.
Another victim of Benjamin Netanyahu, guys. Sorry, my fault.
Oh damn!
My bad.
Damn!
They got him. They got him. Look, they got Galaxy in Digny's kitchen.
Yeah, my kitchen is being replaced, and it's a nightmare. But apparently, journos out there are getting pervy over child movies like the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And of course, the real life fake wizard, who is a very well known creator in the pop culture sphere, came out of nowhere, folks. Thank you to Valkyria Winter for 5 Australian Ds, saying the following quote: Dash, our snuggles we have in Dungeons and Dragons are the best. My bottom half elf. Don't worry. Mommy Dro is here.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Damn, Valkyria.
Dash, you don't
I know it's not. Well, thing is, he is role playing his character, the Drow woman, who's like a very misandrous person, and I'm just a druid monster hunter. But like, you know, she's like taking me as her possession, basically.
Yeah,
in this game.
That's how Drow operate.
I mean, isn't that some of how Drows are anyway? I
mean, Valkyrie is just role playing a Drow as a Drow would be.
Yeah, but
here we go. Hey, Neku, made it.
What?
Our stalling works.
Good timing. Okay.
Can I be placed between the men with their picks out?
Okay, Neku boy. Considering we've weirded out everyone else on this panel, to quote the Orville, tell me about your penis.
Oh gosh.
No, it's from the Orville. You guys ever watched
I've watched
the Orville?
it. All 3
the Mocklin
seasons.
trial. Yeah. See, that went down like a lead balloon. How have you been, Neku?
I got a cold from SoccerCon, but I'm getting better. That's why I'm late.
Oh, you have a cold. Is that what they call it now?
Oh
boy.
I got a cold. I also have a sore throat after I went to the con. Yeah, I wonder why.
Hey, it's Anime Con, not a furry con.
You say that like 6
Well, you're saying like that the same shit doesn't go on in both places.
I was gonna say that.
There's usually
at minimum they
furries
hide it better.
True.
So you're saying you're a bit more clandestine about your extracurricular activities.
Well, apparently he's a married man, so that means he's doing.
I am the real.
Hey, you be quiet, you. I am not you in a weird beard and a weird hat, right? SNH replaced a wizard with a wizard. They replaced a lunatic with a corporate stooge, ladies and gentlemen. But no, the first topic, of course, journos are pervs for child movies. This comes courtesy of the real-life fake wizard. Considering this video is 24 minutes long, it will take us approximately 6.5 hours to fully review this video.
We're only going to watch part of it.
You know what we're going to do, Dash, right? This is the perfect image for a thumbnail. So we're just going to keep this up because it looks like Wizard has entered the asylum, which is us, the lunatics. Okay? Right? Quite frankly, we've been seeing this a lot in recent years. These Geno rats, as I like to call them, they're infesting the children's films because of you know what. Okay? It's a big problem, and it's good to see folks like Wizard are covering this problem. But he's Chinese, so so yeah, you guys can see it, right? Glasses make your eyes look bigger. So if Wizard took his glasses off, he would not have eyes. Okay, he just wouldn't.
Lol.
Oh.
He just wouldn't.
So in other words,
But,
the journalist would automatically give him a 6 instead of a 9.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Niku showed me part of this video. He wanted us to cover it, and I think Wizard's thesis is like, he's almost makes kind of like points for like internet restriction, almost because like some of the stuff, like some of the articles he brings up are from adult games.
Well, Dash, why don't, since Neku recommended this topic, and this individual who I have worked with on more than one occasion in the past, back when I wasn't Pinocchio, Neku, why don't you set the stage on the topic, why you wanted to talk about it, and give your first impressions. Set the stage.
Well, it feels like this pattern we've been seeing lately of whether it's anti-PC or right-wing YouTubers just becoming Puritans in regards to sex. So, like, we all know about Melanie Mac and the quartering, even Razor Fist, unfortunately. And it feels like the same is going on with the Wizard here. He's complaining about journalists finding video game characters hot. And he's saying they shouldn't be writing these kind of articles, even though these articles aren't even made for children. Like, they say fuck and all the other words, and at the same time, it's very bizarre because
I think where I disagree a little bit is just like, they're writing these articles for like, for the agenda, really. Like, like anyone can make a private horny post or talk about like, a character from some like childhood thing. Like, people do that all the time. Like that mouse from the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, that girl's been sexualized.
Lola Bunny.
Yep, Lola Bunny, the gateway furry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a friend who's furry adjacent because of her.
Jesus.
This is all very disturbing, and this is someone who likes clown sluts, okay?
Oh yeah, you missed the clown slut rant.
Oh,
Neku.
no.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah,
They're
Digny's got a thing for clowns. Someone should dress up as Harley Quinn and
because I know Atreus won't touch them. But in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, when I look at this situation, we all know that the concept of especially games journalists, but this is going to be applied to movie journalists as well, and entertainment journalists as a whole. The industry has been so poisoned and has been so gutted that all that has remained is the most toxic, sexualized elements at play here, right? These are the exceptions rather than the rule. The rule of the industry is dead because journalism as a career, it's not possible anymore. Unless you're like a big legacy name, you cannot make a living as a journalist. Okay, it's very hard for content creators to succeed in this space, and it's only getting more and more difficult. The ones who succeed, and I'd put Wizards among the people who have succeeded, gone from nowhere to everywhere in the span of a few years, is because they tailor their content for specific audiences, utilizing specific topics, and being much more of an arrow than, say, like myself, a shotgun, right? Because I make lots of videos from these wonderful shows, and it's like a shotgun therapy, although that sounds a lot more controversial than what it is, right? People like Wizard, they use a sniper rifle or a bow and arrow to hit their target. More often than not, they do a stellar job. And just look how well the video has received. And it's a long video.
Yeah,
you know
can I play like part of it?
Yeah, you can play the first minute.
I fake Wizard. The access media has a lot of problems. One of the many is a pattern of sexualized content that has no business being attached to the properties they're covering. In April 2026, Kotaku published an article declaring that Bowser from the Super Mario Galaxy movie is bisexual. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is rated PG. It is an animated children's film for children. While you're watching this video right now, there are likely hundreds, if not thousands, of small children in theaters watching this film with their parents around the world. And yet, a major news publication with a focus on entertainment has decided it's okay to discuss and make claims about a cartoon turtle's sexual orientation to generate some website clicks. A day earlier, the same outlet published an article connecting Fox McCloud, another character from the same PG-rated children's film, to the furry fetish community. The author predicts Star Fox's appearance in the movie will, quote, inevitably introduce Fox and the rest of his crew to a new generation of furry artists.
Okay, can I just say something?
We'll get
quickly?
first impressions, and we'll start off with Damien. Okay.
Yeah, no, so I can see why Nico said that it feels like it's fair. Oh, it was Dash. I'm confused in my cat voice right now. One of them basically said that it was veered into an angle of basically censorship, because here's the problem right now. It's like, okay, so we have journalists talking sexually about fictional characters. Here's the problem. Bowser existed outside of the film. Same thing with Fox. It's like, are we now going to say, all right, if a character happens to appear in an IP that is aimed at children, you in no way can discuss them in any adult manner. You need to just completely hold off on that because children have consumed this IP. If that's the case, then a lot of artists would need to be arrested.
Well, the big danger in this situation is that curated content is the way to go in regards to felting the opposition. It's got to be carefully curated. It's got to be hyper fixated. It's got to be. You saw it in the first minute of Wizard's video, right? The images came quick and fast. The narrative was right there on the level playing field, and this is what Wizard does, and he's one of the best at doing this, right? Keep the title clear and concise, and also keep the topic relevant to a situation which will hotly cause discussion and debate. And we're seeing the effects of it because we're covering this as a topic, because it resonated so much, for better or for worse, right?
He's also using the Pokemon music for his background.
Yes. I should know all this because Wizard made it very clear to the small group of people he works with, my mentor being one of them, that there are certain things you should do in order to do well on YouTube, and certain things you should not do. One example would be, look at the title, right? Journalists are perverts for kids' movies, right? Clear, concise, to the point, right? It's what? 6 words? 6 words. The average, and you can look at this if you go to Wizard's channel, Dash, you will see all of his recent titles. The titles are smaller, right? They're clearer, they're more concise. For example, live service Pokemon is embarrassing, 5 words. Hollywood killed all the writers. I can't believe he got away with making that title on YouTube, but 5 words. Yeah, that's 5 words. Gaming subscriptions are a scam, 5 words. They're all clear and concise, and all of his thumbnails have him in it as a central focus alongside the topic of the day, folks. And yes, Wizard, among other prominent pop culture content creators, does use some AI features in their thumbnails, and I'm sure in some other aspects. But for example, the Lord of the Rings as Pagan video, in which Jack Posobiec, a notable Catholic, tried to argue that Lord of the Rings was not based on a Catholic story. right? But he doesn't.
Oh
mention
man, what a
Jack
fucking
Posobiec,
moron!
Whoa.
right? He doesn't mention Jack, because if he did, then the video wouldn't do as well, because Jack Posobiec, while being a well-known figure, is a suppressed creator on YouTube. And in fact, searching him and making a video regarding him causes suppression. That's why he simply made the title Political Activists Attack Lord of the Rings. So that's 7 words. So 5 to 7 words for a title. Your image as one of the central focuses, and the topic at hand as the next central focus, with then some words either in the middle or on the right, as you can see.
He has said before he was an advertising major, so it's not surprising he's applying it very well.
Oh, I did not know that.
He is. He Wizard grew up in the corporate world, right? Which is a plus and a minus. Okay, folks. We can all agree corporate types, but he came from that world. That's his bread and butter, and he's succeeding in doing this. And from my perspective, what's the hot topic right now? It's not gaming. It's not gaming. None of the gaming topics are doing well. It's the Hollywood topics. It's the movie topics.
Yeah, so
it's
the paradigm
TV show
shifted
topics that are doing well. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no, I was just commenting that it does seem like it was gaming for a while now. It's shifted back to movies.
Content when searching for Star Fox and these characters. From a bird's eye view here, a working journalist at a major outlet decided an appropriate angle to discuss children's movie characters is through a lens of sexual subculture. There is now a reality that a kid searching for Star Fox on Google might come across this article labeled,
"That's true.
I'm not a..." I mean,
And
it
that's
is
the problem.
true, but that's not going to stop.
As the non-deviant in the group here, I can tell you everything wrong with what's going on here. And I know you guys aren't going to like it. I don't give a shit. First off, you've got people who openly jacked off to Zootopia that are wanted by the cops for jacking off in the theater to Zootopia. I will tell you right now, I am not a parent, but if I had children and I see that you got an obvious fucking boner and you're going to crank it during the Mario movie, your pronouns are going to become was-were. Because you are now doing that in front of my fucking child. Secondly, I'm glad that Fake Wizard did not mention this guy's name, because I said this, and I'm the only one willing to call this shit out, that this asshole is doing this for fucking clicks. And I don't see how anybody fucking defends him, because he's doing it because he wants to be the next AM, guys. He wants the outrage so that he can use it like a serial killer does to make his name live in infamy next to AM, next to Anita Sarkeesian, next to all of the people you fucking hate that are immortalized by the fact that they're mentioned by name.
Definitely intentional. He has
this is the guy. This is a man with HIV who said that he would get on his HIV medication for Leon Kennedy. All right, that's beyond just Gooner shit. That's beyond finding a character attractive. That's just psycho shit. All right, and straight up. All right, straight up. Also, he's got hot uncle energy. So you're adding incest to the mix, and then we're saying, that's okay because you guys happen to be gay. No, it doesn't fucking work that way. I'm sorry to tell you that there has to be a fucking line. Now, if you guys think that puts me in with fucking JDA, who I hate, or Melly Mac, who I think has gone off the deep end, fine. I don't give a shit. But there has to be a fucking line. Because you know what? At the end of the day, yes, Nintendo is for children. I don't give a shit that some of you guys are fucking 30 and playing the fucking Switch. It is for children. It is marketed for children. Yes, I can see why people are a little bit fucking concerned about this. And if you don't see that you're concerned about this, you probably want to fuck a few kids yourself.
Damn.
Damien,
I didn't hear
stay
about the
away
theater
from your
story.
brother.
What? I don't know, brother.
I mean, I do see this as a problem because this is a public thing kids can come across.
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice of words, Xeen. But another interesting choice of words, is the fact that I like to call this guy Karen because he is one. Yes, the HIV thing is absolutely 100% accurate, but there's a specific reason, guys, and it's the little things. The little things that separate a good content creator from a great content creator. And the little thing that you may not notice on the screen right now is that that image does not encompass the entire screen. It is specifically zoomed away so that you can get the gist of it without looking at the specifics. It's a great marketing tool. When most people see this, they think it was unprofessional, but it's a great way of showing you the forest, but not the specific trees. Okay?
You know what
this guy is an expert in.
The other thing I want to say is that, let's say for the sake of argument, and don't do it because you don't want to give this serial killer attention, is that if you look through his articles, his whole MO is to antagonize anyone who has kids, anyone who is maybe considered conservative, anyone who maybe might be, hate to say it, not conservative, but normies, who have kids, who have families. That's what he targets, and he deliberately tries to antagonize, and he deliberately tries to attack. He has an article like, "What happened in the games? How hasn't the games industry done anything about MAGA yet?"
Well,
where is that your fucking business, asshole? That has nothing to do with fucking video games. Stick to the fucking video games.
Well, this is why everyone fucking hates Kotaku, because they're all activists. They all do, all they do is put rage bait shit for clicks, and everyone was like,
one of them
was like calling out on it. I think the reason why Neku wanted it is because, like, you know, he felt like Wizards' like statements on it were a little bit broad. But that doesn't mean like the guy writing the article is a good person or had innocent intentions. No,
this guy was deliberately trying to do this. These are the type of people that inflict their, worldview on the gaming industry. This is the type of guy who would demand that Princess Zelda be played by a trans woman for reasons. Not because it's the best person for the job, but solely to make people who have families uncomfortable. Okay, Hunter Schafer has no business being Zelda, and then as soon as Hunter Schafer didn't get that role, these assholes pivoted to, well, Hunter Schafer should be Samus Aran, which proves the point that it was never, ever about who's best for the role. It was only about pushing an agenda.
And have you heard about the whole trans delayed thing from the new Pokemon thing? There was a glitch in the new Pokemon game that made delayed have the female symbol, and then they just
he already covered it, Dash. That guy, the one that we're talking about now, already covered it and started capitalizing on it, saying that means that the character is automatically trans
over a glitch.
Yes.
What's ridiculous?
Oh yeah, I had a couple points I wanted to make. So on one hand, I'm obviously criticizing the wizard because it just feels very pearl clutchy, like he never heard of Rule 34, even though it's been around since the beginning of the internet. And but on the other hand, you all bring great points that these people keep trying to put their activism into gaming, whether it's Bowser is bi, or even a few years ago, like Sonic needs to be gay or have more gay people. Like, I feel like both sides have some deserved criticism.
Yeah, I think that this guy is really just trying to get his name out there. Like I said, a serial murderer, and I wish that we could just find some way to just strike through his name every time we have to bring up one of these articles that he does, because that's what he wants, essentially.
I won't say his name on my channel then, if that's the case, because you know what? Because Jace is absolutely right. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to. This is exactly what She Who Must Not Be Named did. That's how she got.
And this is formulaic for Kotaku, and he's waiting for the day that Hypno or Smash calls him out by name, and then he will take a victory lap and he will gloat. And I'm glad that
I just found out something.
Sue Smash, like the one that shouldn't be named.
I just noticed something very interesting, guys. Right? As I said, little things. Okay. A, Dash isn't subscribed to Wizard. Okay. B. Sorry, Dash. I just wanted to bring that up. B, right? You can see all the videos recommended to Dash. Okay, and that's good, so we can get his taste. Right? But the most important thing is, if you want to be a successful content creator, it's like being a successful fisherman. You've got to be patient. You've got to create great lures, great baits, and reel people in. Okay? So in a sense, Wizard has done very well at doing that, but he's not the only creator who does very well at that. because I noticed this, and it's a tiny image, but fair play to Endymion, who's been on this show, right? The critical drinker must be destroyed with a little star, which means JK lol in the internet. But if you're a critical drinker fan, right, and you don't like people who condemn a clearly talented man, especially in recent events, you're going to get drawn to that and then find out, oh, wait, Endymion's being quite positive, right? It's the classic case of reeling people in. Now, we don't want clickbait as a thing, folks, because that's like reeling people in as the boy who cried wolf. But you're seeing, just in this, right, whether it's Vara or Dr. Foxotic with his amazing AI-based videos.
Oh, yeah, he's really good.
Smash, you're seeing throughout this recommended on the far right, so many different pieces of a wider puzzle that can all do well. And that includes our show. And it's good to know, Dash, that YouTube is recommending you your own content to watch. Because that's a positive.
YouTube actually does recommend most network shows on a lot of my other accounts that I use to sort of just skim through videos with my girlfriend when we're here and stuff like that. She has not made comment of the Mexican cowboy hat in the thumbnails, so that's good at least.
It's the only one I can really find.
I know.
Right. But
I like how people don't believe that's a real hat that I have.
It's a real hat. It's a real straw hat. I just want to make it clear for the panel and for the people watching, or it's live on replay or in a video, right? This video from Wizard is very successful for multiple reasons. But if you look at the title, Journalists Are Perverts for Kids Movies, I just change a few things, and it's a brand new title. For example, Journos Are Pervs for Child Movies, right? And I released that as a video title. You can be inspired by more prominent creators, especially creators that you've worked with in the past, who are in circles where said creators give advice, tips, and tricks of the trade, right? If you're able to notice patterns in prominent creators and what they do, you will be able to do very well in terms of video making. Now, you can only be inspired for so much. You've got to put your own energy into it. And in Damien's case, for God's sake, do not mention Israel. For once.
Boy.
Yeah, that is Damien, possibly Jace, and Digny.
Well, I don't want to mention them because every time every time I mention them on YouTube, one of y'all disappears or your computer explodes or something.
I mean, to be honest, like even on like, you know, as far as like politics and shit, just because just some recent shit, like forget it, moving on.
Well, Dash, if you scroll down and we can see more of the recommendations you're getting, because I think it's very important for people to realize this, folks. There's a reason you get recommended content like this. Because look at Yellow Flash uses what I like to call the classic pop culture thumbnail, right? Big letters on the left, big pictures on the center and the right. It's the classic thumbnail we all know, love, and sometimes hate, okay? Or you can see Endymion taking that concept and switching it up. There is an industry mindset evolving within content creation, and hopefully it doesn't lead down the path that ultimately ended, you know, games journalism, entertainment journalism, but you can see the same patterns emerging because this has turned into an industry for better or for worse. Or look at Cater. Cater's very simple in his thumbnail making, especially for live streams. It's just a picture of himself flashing a V at people because, you know, why not? Why not just flash a V while you're holding your head and playing Crimson Desert? And it's part 9. My goodness. Goodness me. But there are so many, or in Asmon's Gold's case, a picture of a tramp and it gets millions of views.
Nobody can afford games anymore.
Oh, how about this one? This one is a parody of a very famous thumbnail called from the Racist Mario video.
Oh,
yeah. If anyone remembers that. this is a parody from that. So it's like the same thumbnail, just hyper realistic and censored.
That's crazy, man. But you know what else is crazy? A wider phenomenon is going on. Pirate Nation is attracted to men.
That's not
Oh yeah,
surprising.
this is going to be a fun one.
Oh boy.
Okay, folks. I know Pirate Nation isn't technically a content creator. He's more of a commentator and an ex-commentator. But he, likewise with Damien, is also a fan of wearing women's clothes. And apparently he has a... Oh, how do I put this delicately? He has a
Fascination.
He has an obsession with Ben Starr. He's been making so many quotes from these out of what I assume are interview answers. And like, so this last one was saying like how Ben would rather go out with Gail than Shadowheart just because he think it'd be awkward to romance like Jennifer English, who he knows. And then, like, you know, he's got like other one, like Ben's opinions on the games industry. Well, see, like, how many? Let's type in Ben Starr.
I too would consider it uncomfortable to date a lesbian.
Claire Obscure doesn't want games to be stuck in the past. Ben Starr kept his just being exciting and he just. Why does he? So he's made 4 tweets of just Ben Starr's opinions on shit.
Yes, because he has a fixation on men, like a good portion of this panel does. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that anymore.
There's so much wrong with it.
Well, Damien, you have something in common with Pirate Nation. You both like to dress up in women's clothes.
I am the only one that looks good doing it.
I don't even know what Pirate Nation looks like.
Probably Ian Miles Chong.
Oh, jeez.
Boy. Let me tell you about your country. You know what's the funniest part is Ian buying the Ozempic and losing all that weight unnaturally because he can afford it because of the amount of money that X pays him to glaze Elon. So sad. So sad.
You just take medication to look like a Soviet famine victim. But in Ben Starr's case, he's a very, very talented actor, both voice actor and, of course, in live action.
Oh, I didn't know he did live action.
Well, that's the thing when it comes to actors, Dash. A lot of them get their start in the theater. Not a lot of people like to bring it up anymore because... Let's face it. Oh, I got trained professionally in a theater, and it's like, what century are you living in?
Well, it's also theater kids get a bad rap because a lot of them tend to be overly emotional and smug, and that sort of led to this thing that we see in common media, where they think that their opinions are more important than they should be considered.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why I like Ben Starr is that, like, even though, like, yes, like, he can be, like, a little, like, weird, like, did you see, like, what he was wearing at the Game Awards? I mean, people didn't notice because Erika Ishii was dressed even weirder.
I'm sorry, guys, but when I looked at the Game Awards this year, which was far better than the Game Awards in 2024 for obvious reasons. But the last thing I'm looking at is what another man is wearing. Except if they're wearing women's clothes. Okay. That crosses a line with me. But Ben Starr is just trying to operate in an industry that, quite frankly, is like going through a minefield or the Strait of Hormuz. It's very difficult to operate in this sphere.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. Like everything you say can get you canceled. Everything, like, you know, and so like trying to be like, you know, a normal, like a guy, because he is a guy that seems to he really does like video games. Like, you know, he does come off as genuine somewhat.
This is where I feel bad for Ben. I think he's in a bad spot because of the fact that the nature, and you know this, Dash, and you've covered this, you know, on X in a lot of cases, and you had Lama Todd on here a couple of weeks ago. Ben is currently floating in a neighborhood where there's a lot of people on the other side of the culture war that think that silence is complicity. So it's like he has to navigate the waters very carefully, because if he's silent on certain issues, they'll be like, oh, well, you're on their side. And it's like, they'll go nuts and they'll immediately turn on you at the drop of a hat. So it's a very hard water to navigate. I'm going to be honest. It's very hard to try to just be like neutral or nuanced or anything, because you've got these sort of cultural battle lines drawn. And I feel bad for Ben because he's in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of voice actors have been in that industry, and a lot of them cave. Like we saw this in BLM. Like even these corporations, a lot of them hit the Gushers made a BLM statement. Fucking Gushers.
Well, I would like to make a case in point before we give Xeen the Kevin Spacey treatment in regards to House of Cards, which is to just throw him out because he has to do something else. Okay. This industry is essentially getting to a point where the only way you can succeed is by being a tepid moderate, right? Or radical of one sort, but not the other. The same is the case when it comes to content creation, especially the likes of YouTube and Twitch, because YouTube and Twitch are the most likely platforms to turn into cable news or streaming services. It'll be Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, and YouTube and Twitch, right? So in a sense, folks, we collectively as content creators will be existing in the same ecosystem as, say, for example, Piers Morgan, right? Who sometimes collaborates with people in our sphere, prominent people like Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker.
Yeah, he also hacks dead kids' phones.
Yeah, remember Dash?
Yeah,
when
I remember
Ben
the Piers
Shapiro,
Morgan story. How he dug through a dead girl's phone for a scoop.
Yes. But did you also remember, Dash, when Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire collaborated with Geeks and Gamers? You remember that?
I remember
I
that.
do not, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And I actually know, well, I say no, but I can speculate in knowing the reason that alliance fell through. And it has to do with a certain Brett Cooper and a certain Kada, ladies and gentlemen. One of the reasons why the Daily Wire will not work with Geeks and Gamers anymore is because one of the main reasons why Brett Cooper left the Daily Wire was to collaborate with Kada.
Yeah, well, but Kada is I know he recently started doing stuff for Geeks and Gamers, but he's not completely in the circle. He's very new.
Well, he's there. He's there, and he's doing very well. And let's face facts. The Daily Wire, as an organization, like many organizations inspired by the mainstream media, don't like it when one of their talent leaves, specifically so they can work with more independently minded people.
The other Ben doesn't like it when you don't do exactly what you are told when you are told to do it. The one that runs the Daily Wire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Xeen, why don't you tell folks where you're heading to and what you're doing, and we'll see you next Friday.
Yeah. Okay. You can see me on Rumble. I'll be streaming Trails of Cold Steel 2. Almost, not almost to the final chapter yet, but getting pretty close for that game. Well, and also since Trails in the Sky the First has ended, I am finally able to restart my Might and Magic 8 one-man runs. Not Heroes of Might and Magic, Might and Magic. So the adventure RPG, not the turn-based strategy. And also, Saturday is going to be a random game day. Don't know what's going to be on Saturday. Collab, maybe, or Valheim. Who knows? Phasmophobia.
I have a question before you go.
Okay, I feel hesitant.
Where's your nose?
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. See?
So your
It's
nose
there.
is essentially camouflaged.
It's just the brightness.
Well, this is actually the third time you actually asked where my nose was at.
Well, let's see. My nose has like shading, so you can see it. If that shading wasn't there, like my nose would look.
It's more of I'm using VC face. If I was using Waldo, you could actually see it more. It's just the software I'm using.
None of them have large noses, which is good.
Yeah, it's so ironic that I have the biggest nose on the panel. My nose was drawn by a Muslim. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you.
Yeah,
Xeen.
could you imagine Mustafa on this show,
Thank you
Jace?
all.
Oh boy.
Maybe we could have him on. Like
No.
Okay.
No.
He will replace his normal thing with the gif of the guy throwing rocks that say haram. He would be that the entire show.
I am not punishing Mustafa with an appearance on the Cartoon News Network, okay?
Oh boy.
It's like mixing material that goes boom. Let's put it that way. All right?
Oh no.
You want to put a Muslim game developer and content creator in a batch of furries, bisexuals.
Well, I'll eliminate. I guess
Mustafa puts the Strait in Strait of Hormuz. So
yes, he does. He does. Goodness me. But in regards to Pirate Nation, his origins are a bit suspect. I'm just going to put it out there, right?
You think he's on the planet?
Creator, any creator who builds themselves specifically on X, to me at least, is suspect. Because
manufactured.
let's face it, you could say that, but the thing about X that I find a bit disturbing is that anyone's audience on X can be comprised of so many different people. It's insane. It's insane. You look at Neku's X page, right? And I know that Cancel This Podcast would have nothing to do with Neku, right? Because, in all fairness, Jace, Neku makes, animations of an animal getting fisted, right? It's not something you'd normally associate with pop culture and politics through a nerdy news lens. What the fuck's wrong with you, Dash?
No, I'm just. What?
His face went all weird and his eyes were popping out.
I don't know. Maybe because I was brushing my hair in the camera and.
I thought he saw more of your future clown wife.
Oh no.
But
I learned from Dash and made us safe for work.
Yeah, he took my example. Like he made a thing so people can follow him who are just into his music and like not the other stuff.
Meanwhile, you have me that doesn't do that.
But the sad thing is, folks, right? And it is a sad thing, is that he shouldn't have to do that, right? Furious Dan has his fist of shame, right? Why can't Neku and Dash? Why don't you make us bigger? Okay. Why can't Neku have a fisting of shame, right? So when Furious Dan makes a fist of shame, Neku can then troll Dan with a fisting of shame, and then if Dan doesn't like it, well then Neku. It'd be such a funny dynamic. Dan does a fist of shame of Neku, and Neku does a fisting of shame of Dan.
You missed when Dan was on when you were at the convention, Neku.
Oh, damn.
Yes, you got a cold and a sore throat at the convention, and you're a married man.
Jeez.
He could have just been busy with his husband, eh?
Sure, Damien. It takes one to know one, doesn't it, Damien?
I do have to point out, since Galaxy isn't here, because you guys mentioned Pirate Nation, that Galaxy is always the first to bring this up, that Pirate Nation never has a source for anything he says.
He rarely ever sources unless people call him out to source it.
Yep. And that's why, folks, you've got to hold people's feet to the fire, okay? I do find it a bit suspicious the Pirate Nation loves Ben Starr just a little too much, okay? Okay, I can admire people as much as the next guy, right?
No,
Okay.
I thought 16 was good. I'm one of the few like 16 defenders.
I will straight up tell you.
I think it's a good
right
Devil
here-
May Cry. I don't think it's a good Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
that's the
and that
problem.
hits
I
the
like
nail.
both franchises, so
Yeah.
But I can tell you for
Mhm.
a fact, in this industry, in content creation as an industry, there
Mhm.
are creators willing to have a good time with their fans, male and female, right?
I thought we were
It's
going to
what
talk
I-
about the quartering. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Wait,
Yes.
people want to actually sleep with the quartering?
He
Yes.
wants to
What?
sleep with them. He wants
Yes.
to sleep with them.
Just yes to everything. There's a reason Melanie Mack got married.
Wait, no,
She remarried?
She got divorced because she cheated.
No, she married. She married a cosplayer because the quartering was hitting on her.
She got remarried. I wonder how long
Yes.
this
Yeah.
marriage will last.
Yes. And he's not
Mhm.
and he's not gay, so don't even think about it, Damien.
yeah,
His
I heard
hairline's
I heard
perfect.
those rumors were actually false. I forget who it was who told me that, but they said that whole rumor about her husband leaving her for a guy didn't happen. I mean, it was
Yeah,
a
no.
very convenient story given her views and like her
Yep.
her shift in views.
But it
Mhm.
made sense. That's probably why it did so well as a narrative. The point
Mhm.
I'm trying to make, though, folks, in regards to this whole situation, is that there is really no limit to what we can do. And on one hand, that's a great positive, such as being able to speak your mind, have a great time, engage in a wide variety of ideas, though there are times when that is a negative. For example, when creators and communities meet up and engage in orgies. That is a thing that has happened within
also-
Oh,
content
boy.
creation communities.
It also
It
happens
has
to
happened.
YouTubers.
It's called the dark side of meetups, ladies and gentlemen. Really puts the meat in meetup. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Oh damn!
Right?
I hope
Digny's
the
on
meat-
fire today.
I hope the meat
Hmm?
is cut though.
Oh, you dirty bastard, right? I had to tell Alki John this, right? Why is it most Americans have the thing done downstairs? You know the thing?
Oh, gosh, I
Health
know,
reasons. Health reasons.
Yeah, no, actually.
Health
I know
reasons.
exactly what he's talking about.
I could never understand that. Or I just said to John, and Alki John doesn't give a damn. Jace can tell you. So I just ask him all this question. Why did you marry a Jewish wife? Why did you circumcise your child? All that sort of stuff. And he's very open and honest and refreshing. And I can tell Tash is uncomfortable with me bringing this up. But
I can see it on his
think-
face.
yeah, you could literally see it on his VTuber face. But I think that openness and honesty is what's really needed in this day and age, because trust is the most valuable commodity on the internet.
True.
And you may not like it, but the more people, and that includes me, that includes everyone here, the more people are willing to disclose who they are, what they are, you know, their backstory, for lack of a better term, the more likely those people are going to resonate with others, right? For example, Jace and his mother. Jace works 3 jobs. His mother is a millstone around his neck, but he finds a way. He finds a way forward. Whereas with Dash and his parents are very supportive of him. They're very welcoming of him, and they agree with his lifestyle, unlike Damien's parents, one of which ran away and the other resented him. Okay? That's his mother who resents him. And with Neku, he's married. So the feeling is mutual. I just find it insane. When you've got a creator who likes an actor or a prominent figure a little too much, it's a bit weird. All right. Do you know what else is weird, Dash?
What's that, Digny?
Dressing up in women's clothes to piss off your mother.
My mother doesn't even know about it, or does she?
What do you mean she doesn't know?
You can send it to her to piss her off. Like,
why would I do that?
Oh boy.
I can't believe this. What other things are you hiding from your mother?
No, I'm saying I'm not sure. It's not like I hide the clothes, but I'm not sure if she knows I wear it.
Yeah. I thought we were going to segue to the next topic.
You can't see me having this open mouth reaction, but what? Wow.
Listen,
Nephew's parents don't hate him. He got married to a man.
I will say this. The thing is, it's like I try to keep people out of my business where possible. My mom doesn't care so much because when the power was out about 2-3 weeks ago and I was looking for a lighter, I came across one of her vibrators.
Oh no. Was there a South Park episode like that once?
That sounds like something that would happen in South Park.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying this, but you came across one of her vibrators?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Amy Rose getting retconned.
Speaking of shipping, ladies and gentlemen,
you can get
chief shipper of the Sonic franchise at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. Like the stream, share the stream. Donations are always welcome. It's good to know that Leon still hates things with a passion, because I thought he was, losing his hate mojo, right?
Well, he is a big Sonic fan like me, so he is probably very pissed at just like the infiltration. He did a whole video on it, actually calling out all the more so the fandom than this is more of a problem with the franchise, because for some reason they're trying to make it hide the fact that part of Amy's character is that she's an obsessive Sonic fangirl, almost to an unhealthy degree.
You can't have that in this day and age. It's as simple as that, folks. Right? When you roll around at the speed of sound in a place of prominence, you have no choice but to compromise.
Apparently this is a reprint from whatever book this is. He goes, isn't that Sonic so dreamy? Sigh, if I can ever get him to slow down, we might be able to go on a date someday. And he's like, remember, leading with your heart doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong. And if that doesn't work, I always have my trusty Pinko hammer to even the odds. Yeah, you got to mention that you have this giant weapon. That's your defining thing is fortune cards and a hammer. It's not Sonic anymore. Your thing was chasing Sonic. It's a key plot point.
Is this coming from Ian or up top at Sega?
Honestly, I think a lot of people were blaming Flynn, but at this point, I almost think it's Sega doing it, because
it is Sega doing it. Because Sega, at least now, I don't know and here's the question though: is it Sega from the head office in Japan or Sega at the local level?
Well, I think from what I hear, they're not changing any of the stuff in Japan. The Sonic Generations, the script is the same.
Yeah.
The
reason why I mentioned that, Dash, is I don't know if you remember a few years ago the Ugandan Knuckles, right? You remember that? That was a meme.
You know the way.
Yes.
You don't know the way. Do you know the way?
I have it on my soundboard.
You have to have a Ebola to know the way.
And the thing about it was that it was just a funny meme. Nobody thought about it from a lens of racism or anything like that. But Sega themselves put out a statement, Sega of America, on X, denouncing the Ugandan Knuckles meme and saying basically, and that was when it first came across.
They literally reference it in movie 2. Jim Carrey asks Knuckles if he knows the way.
Which is funny because, again, at some point they, try to denounce it and say that it was, rooted in racism to basically acknowledge this meme. And they put out BLM statements. They put in reproductive rights statements. Really weird things for Sega to do.
That abortion thing really pissed me off. Be quite honest. I don't want to get But no, actually, yeah, I'll get into it. Like,
And-
what
and
the fuck is
this is not the
Sega
first time
making
that-
commentary on our Supreme Court.
And this is not the first time, like when Sonic pie-faced Amy in the game and they took that out.
Yeah,
Remember
that's the
where-
same
where-
thing. That's related. Like, you know, a lot of this, like the Shadow portion was fantastic. I loved what they did with Shadow, but everything from censoring Rouge to like changing Amy's dialogue in an older game.
Because you can't have men and women, males and female characters having this. Because and by the way, it takes away these strong independent women that don't need no man.
The
Which
thing
is silly.
Sonic doesn't like Amy that way. That's the whole dynamic. She is obsessed with him, and like he's trying. I mean, he can be a bit rude to her at times, actually, and they're trying to get rid of that.
And very similarly, it's on the flip side, Nintendo also, remember a few months ago they said that Mario and Princess Peach were just friends. Remember,
And
they
I
friend
love
zoned
the
Mario.
fact that the movies ignored that too, just like with Sonic 2 and the Uganda Knuckles. They they set up Mario and Peach in the new Galaxy movie. Like teaching him, oh Mario, you like the princess, don't you?
My thing is, who are they trying to appease? Because nobody is offended by that. Nobody looks at that, from any sort of lens. Whether you're straight, whether you're LGBT, whether you're left, whether you're right. Nobody looks at that really and says, "Oh, hey, that's like this big problem that's going to ruin my day." But it shows how scared these companies are that it might. And if there's even like an odd less than one, even if there's a 1% chance that it might piss off someone, they want to change it.
A minority.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Well, whether we like it or not, folks, this isn't the first time Sega has been split down the middle. In fact, the last time it was, the company nearly destroyed itself, and it had to rely on a gambling company to save it. No one really likes bringing up Sammy, except for me, folks.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of like Sega's ESG stuff comes from the Sammy portion of it.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like what's gone like them downhill, and it's even affected the Japanese side, though not as much. But that's just because of regional stuff. Like like when they posted their article about localization in the Japanese thing, they had to like put out a statement saying, we do not support harassment. It's just people criticizing that you're changing shit for the West.
Which is funny because that's the same thing Square Enix did when people criticized Final Fantasy XIV with the Dawn Trail expansion, and they've gone after
it seems to be
blogs
a Japanese thing. Like apparently they have this problem of people actually like going after employees there in Japan, and like there's like laws and shit. So like that's a cultural thing.
Yeah. I think part of it culturally is the assassination of Shinzo Abe probably changed sort of the zeitgeist in Japan proper.
Really?
That worry that people might, do things to other people they don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Because look, there's no guns in Japan, and somebody like I made a homemade shotgun and took out Shinzo Abe. Ever since then, like there's just like a tension now. It's like, oh, someone might do something.
People really underestimate how many left-wing minded people are actually in Japan. I know recently they had a big supermajority of the right wing. I'll make it clear to you folks, when you have the world's third biggest communist party behind only China and Russia, you've got a big left-wing problem. You really do. But a lot of people don't realize that about Japan, quite frankly. And that's
I think the Kyoto animation fire could also be a reason.
Oh yeah, that too. Remember,
I forgot about that.
Because that actually affected people in the industry. So it's like, oh frick, what if another crazy does that?
Yeah.
And, it's so funny because that was the studio that had that made Dragon Maid, about the lesbian dragons, and like that was the one that the dub got changed to, and anti-male shit. But no, like the fire, that was done by a disgruntled employee, I believe.
Yeah.
No, he entered a fanfic contest, or it was like a writing contest, and he assumed they stole his work.
Oh wow!
Although I think that was debunked.
Well, it is a corporation. I expect them to steal my left nut.
It was very, very tragic. A lot of people reacted to it. I think even on the anniversary wise, people that. That had the huge ripples even in the West with like as far as the anime community is concerned.
Sega Sammy as a company wants to rewrite history, right? Because this is not the same company that smashed through the zeitgeist with Sonic the Hedgehog through the Sega Genesis. Not the same company. That company died, and Sammy saved Sega and created Sega Sammy. Okay, it's a completely different company. It's a completely different entity in a very similar way to how Square and Enix don't exist anymore. It's Square Enix. It's a completely different brand. And I can understand Leon not being a fan of shippers, but understanding that Sonic and Amy and their dynamic is very important.
It's core to the old game. It's part of the history. And like I feel like franchises, once they start changing their history, then then they lose their value.
This reminds me a lot of and I don't know how much you remember this, Dash, the Ayuden Chronicle localization. Do you ever see sort of the differences between the Japanese dialogue and the U.S. dialogue with the Ayuden Chronicle?
Ayuden Chronicle.
Yes, that was it is the Suikoden spiritual successor. It was made by the former Suikoden 1 and 2 developers. It was also crowdfunded. But then when it came out in the United States...
the 100, the 100 unit.
100 Heroes. And when it came out in the US, I played a few hours of it, and I noticed that every female in the English localization was an insufferable girl boss. Even characters that if you change the language back to Japanese, now the English dialogue is the same, but there are characters who are more timid, more demure, more shy. This is what we see obviously when you watch anime and when
they added the word chud to that localization. I remember.
And I've not touched it since because I'm waiting for them to localize it further. As people have taken the liberty to localize purely from the Japanese script into English without taking liberties, and all of the people that localize it here, they had ACAB and all of the calls of the moment flags going on.
Well, that figures. That explains a lot.
Yeah, but they also, and this is hilarious, they said that the lead developer in Japan signed off on it. There's only one problem. He died, so he can't refute that claim. They could say anything. He's dead. You got to take out a Ouija board to ask him if that's true or not.
Jace, don't give them any ideas.
It's funny. I was consulting Grok about Fire Emblem because I'm not sure if anyone watched my April Fool's video, but I brought up my obsession and with the disappointment of the Fire Emblem Engage localization. And I'd often will bring it up with Grok, and something I learned, apparently Intelligent Systems has this adaptation clause as part of their agreement that give the localization teams a lot of leeway to change characters and story. And I guess they're okay with it. Because I guess their thing is they're focused on the Japanese audience, and that's why they keep they're still adding lolis to their games.
Well, I personally think that talking to an AI or to a clanker is something that should never be normalized and is extremely problematic.
It looks things up, and I trust it more than Google. Google will just bring me to fucking Reddit, and Reddit will tell me that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much?
Well, the thing that I don't like is that if you change the nature of a character, you are in fact changing that character. And a great example is it would be like digging. Here's a good example. Let's say you were reading or watching Game of Thrones, and instead of Arya and Sansa, they turned Sansa into just a second Arya. That's kind of what these localizers do. It's they just want every character to be the strong woman trope, and then they just remove everything else. And here's the thing that I think is bad. These people who claim they do it, for feminism or whatever, I think it's inherently anti-feminist to act like all female characters should have one personality, and that's insufferable girl boss.
Yep. I'd rather two Sansas than two Aryas, so Ramsay Bolton can have twice the fun.
Two Sansas and one in clown makeup.
Oh, damn, folks. Oh, damn. Then we can finally get the Tomb Raider we deserve. But
okay, I might regret this, but let's see. I actually like this Amy more. Now,
of course.
Denied. Ignore.
But new
Yeah, of course you got
Dash.
like the dick riders that like say
Well-
no, only Sonic is good. Like
New
no, I mean yeah, some of
generations-
it's good. This isn't one of them.
New generations of Sonic fans are detestable. They're detestable. They're not just bad, they're detestable. Because the Sonic franchise, ever since the 2006, so for 20 years, right, until the movies came along, that franchise was like on death's door. So many projects were not doing well. So many, very few were doing well until
I want to
those
share
movies
my
came
love
along.
with the world. So Bonnie Blue, then.
Yeah.
Yo, what up,
Oh.
Amy? My completely platonic friend. I can always trust and count on you.
No.
Good God.
Ah!
Goodness me.
You know, there are people pushing back, and this is why this whole conversation blew up, because people are fucking noticing.
In more ways than one. But this is worse than the time when Nintendo erased trans Pokemon.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think we need more trans characters in Pokemon to, you know, showcase the fact that the franchise is destroying itself.
But would they now just be a normal NPC you encounter, a gym leader, part of the Elite Four, the villain?
No, I think we should have more of these characters to hasten the demise of Pokemon.
Oh boy.
So I actually got the Pokepia game because I had some extra cash. You know, I wanted to like just see if it was. It's actually kind of good. I actually think, but the mainline it's way better than the mainline Pokemon shit. Actually,
Yeah, I saw you playing that the other day on Rumble. Actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get to what I didn't see the chat right away.
Oh
but
yeah, no problem, no problem.
Guys, what makes this character transgender?
Oh, it was a glitch. So like Glade can only be male. Like Glade, you know Gardevoir, right? That's the female version. You know, like this has an evolution line that's gender locked. So Glades are male. And in this game, they accidentally had the female sign. It was a glitch, and Nintendo already said they're patching it out. So, but but you say because of that glitch, people ran with it, and yeah, like the author, who we're not going to mention, wrote this article.
Karen.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Karen wrote this article. But I just want to make it clear, folks. The idea of Nintendo erasing a trans Pokemon character is deeply distressing. It's incredibly transphobic. It is a stain on our LGBT alliance that we have on this show. And
You let the character erase itself. You're not supposed to step in.
Yeah, there are plenty of jokes you can make with this situation. Like,
jokes.
Yeah.
Jokes. No, it's a good thing that Pokemon has trans characters.
So I want to show this. So like, here's GameStop lamenting games. I used to read GameSpot when I was a teenager. Like, it's sad. Like all these legacy game journal sites.
And you know what's sad? You may not. I don't know if you remember this, Dash. You might have been too young. But you know what? What GameSpot used to be when it was a printed publication? Electronic Gaming Monthly, one of the most iconic video game magazines of all time.
I did not know this.
Yeah. GameSpot. GameSpot sort of was the successor to that once everything started going online. So EGM was like, "Oh no, now we're doing GameSpot and all this." But before that, you know, basically everything that was now GameSpot was Electronic Gaming Monthly.
I honestly believe that the biggest fumble over the last 10 years has been, why haven't magazines returned? There's literally MAGA in the name.
Okay, so I can't see it because he either deleted it or because of the block, but there was this guy calling me transphobic for posting this classic Zelda CDI meme in response to, like, it's good. It's good they fixed the glitch. I mean, how is that transphobic?
Transphobic, Dash. You will literally fuck anyone.
I wouldn't say that. You try to make me sound more gay than I actually am, like a lot of times, Digby.
But for him to accuse you of being transphobic when you have a history of being opening and welcoming.
No, yeah, I'm an individualist. I
Yeah.
try and see things on an individual. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of communities that are really messed up and brainwashed. So, like those little individuals who are actually decent people, like they're a little bit harder. But I've met them.
I mean, could you imagine Damien being accused of being transphobic?
But he probably
wears
is.
women's clothing.
But
But
I
the
am
thing is,
comfortable-
there's a turf war between the femboys and the trans people. That there is a
God,
war.
Oh yeah.
It makes it sound like we gotta get Damien, aside from the lingerie, we need to get him armored lingerie then if there's a war, and a broadsword.
My goodness! At the end of the day, what is the difference between a femboy and a transgender at this
Well,
point?
what femboy still identifies as a man. That he's not pretending. He just likes being girly. Essentially, it's like a tomboy for men.
Dignity wants the deep lore, guys.
Yeah.
What's the difference, honestly, right? Because this thing accuses you of transphobia. Honestly, what is the tangible difference between wanting to be girly and wanting to be a girl? Aren't we just splitting hairs at that point?
Well, ask Cass. Like that's like calling Cass like saying she's a guy. You know, it's like she's still a girl. Though,
I have
like,
called her a man in the past. The guy with the biggest pair of balls on the panel is a woman, but no.
it is true. She has really big balls, metaphorically speaking.
From my perspective, you look at this. You look at what Nintendo has done, and on one hand, you can make the narrative argument that they've corrected a glitch, but on the other hand, which is the narrative I'm going with, a trans Pokemon character was erased by transphobic Nintendo. And you can see so many people running with that narrative because it paints Nintendo in a bad light. In more ways than one.
That's the trick behind it. It's, that's the corporate sort of bullying structure is we can make enough noise to sort of bully Nintendo to doing what we want. Here's the problem with that logic. Nintendo is one of those companies that even if they've done a couple things you don't like, even culturally, once they've dug their heels in that they're going to do something, they are basically unflappable. These people saw how this turned out when they tried to push Hunter Schafer into being Princess Zelda. Nintendo was like, nope, don't care. Gonna do what Nintendo do. What Nintendo do.
I mean, like these people are already getting that freaking like Tamagotchi life game that's going to be woke as shit. Especially the Eastern version, like you leave Pokemon alone.
Look, Nintendo do be like that.
It do be like that, Mr. Stancil.
So I mean, look, they do what Nintendo's gonna do, and no amount of pressure from the left or right is ever going to change that. Once they've dug their heels in on what they intend to do, they never really about face. I mean, there's very rare moments. I think that you could count on maybe one hand how many times Nintendo was about faced on something. Once they've decided to do it.
To you guys, right? When we look at this situation, and you look at this panel, okay? This panel, I'd say about 2/3 or maybe 3/4 of this panel are built to penetrate the zeitgeist, okay? Right? And when you look at this situation, this is a zeitgeist-defining topic. A misunderstanding could well lead to a seismic change. Now, Jace has pointed out that Nintendo rarely does that sort of thing. Yet, if you blur the lines in regards to situations like these, comparable to the narrative I was making earlier in regards to Damien, what's the difference between wanting to be girly and wanting to be a girl?
Ask the Bridget fans.
That's the kind of blurred lines, Dash, that could well define this topic.
I'm going to bring up the Bridget thing because people are still fighting about it, and Jace knows about this too.
Oh,
You had this character who was, in all intensive purposes, a femboy because, like, he was a girly guy who wanted to be more manly. He was on a quest to find masculinity, and they got trans because they bullied the company into making him trans because of a localization thing.
Yes,
and you shouldn't
Bridget.
be bullied into becoming something. you're not.
Bridget
It's
was,
not as if I'm
and the
gonna-
Bridget fans they hate ARC systems. Like, one of my big fans is like, will never buy another ARC system game over this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think of the parallels, right? Think of the parallels. I bully Dash into cutting his cock off, and he becomes a woman, right?
Well,
I'd
the
be
thing
all
about
for
Bridget, this is amusing, and Digny, you might even find some amusement in this. The reason that Bridget is a female presenting character, whatever you want to freaking call it, is because in the society Bridget hails from, you cannot have more than one male child. So if you have more than one male child, that child is executed. It's very similar to the China's one-child policy. So in order to prevent execution, Bridget must cross-dress to not be executed. Essentially, that was the backstory. That was the lore of this character. They have since changed it to, well, this means Bridget is trans. And by the way, cross-dressing is a common trope in anime, as we all know. There are characters who, for whatever reason, they are either girls who dress like boys or boys who dress like girls, but they are not, explicitly LGBT.
Exactly.
From Ranma 1/2 is a great example.
I mean, hell, even Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny, that was the whole thing, and people want to put the LGBT label on him too.
I just think that the terrifying aspect of this whole situation is this effect of blurring the lines. Because well,
that's what they want to do. It's an attack. It's like they're trying to push their things into the zeitgeist, even if it's like just misrepresent a character or even like put new canon into the minds of the creators.
It's a consistent strategy by them.
The thing is,
if you blur enough lines, folks, you create this sort of fog where you can't see anything. And whether we like to admit it or not, a consequence of those blurred lines can be seen on this panel, right? Let's face facts. If my father was my age, Damien would be beating the shit out of for doing what he's doing. I'm being honest here, right? Right? Early 1970s, Western Europe. If you're dressing up as a girly girl, Damien, you're not long for this world, no matter what color you are. All right, and the same applies to Neku with his fisting of shame. It's like my father's generation would literally push you off a building. All right.
You know what?
It's not hyperbolic to say that.
Well, the thing is,
what bothers me? You cannot force acceptance. Acceptance comes naturally. Like the thing we do here. Look, everybody's from all different walks of life. Everybody's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you try to force it, you will create a resentment. And that shows statistically that since they've tried to force this in the cultural zeitgeist, it has backfired. It has caused resentment that wasn't there before.
Yeah, like even resentment to people who fall into those groups in the first place. Because there are people that just even though I did this reflection on myself. I'm still me. I still like the same shit I did even
Absolutely.
Think about it, Dash, right? When you're 60, 70, 80 years old, the world you live in what, 40 years, 50 years time? Let's say 50 years for the sake of argument. That world will be the year 2076, like Cyberpunk. Okay? That world will be radically different than the world you live in today, which was radically different than the world of 50 years ago in 1976 when my father was around my age, right? I can tell you for a fact that 60% of this panel would be shunned from society or even treated as criminals if they were as they were today in 1976. And
obviously we take a lot of advantage and from our society and some of the changing attitudes it has I mean, and you could say we've been affected by said changes, but the thing is we're not retarded though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the West, forget that you are more free to do and love and be who you are in the West than anywhere else. Because if you were to go to the Middle East, which a lot of these people who are ideological like to defend, various countries in the Middle East, you would get eaten, from a very high place.
The rest of the world is just like Digny described. They will not accept you, even if you're just a tiny little bit, even if like maybe I like it, maybe I'd find that
because the difference between, say, the West and the rest of the world that isn't under Western control or influence, and you can see this with Nintendo even as a company. When Nintendo was within an ecosystem that wasn't Western, it was its own unique, like, Japanese civilization. They were a brutal company in a brutal country as part of a brutal ecosystem. Now, of course, a lot has changed over the course of the past 80, 90 years, but the core element of that, the foundation, cannot be denied. And to deny that is to deny what it means to be Japanese, quite frankly. And the same can apply to the Middle East. Now, the difference between, say, the Japanese and the Middle East is because it's weaponized principle. You're so principled that you turn it into a weapon. And that weapon is this: we will never change. We will just never change. That's what principle is. I am what I am. I stand by what I am from birth until death. And, you know, it's hard for people to understand in this day and age, because in our part of the world, Dash, Neku, Damien, Jace, the problem in our part of the world is a lack of principle. Whereas the biggest problem in, say, other parts of the world is too much principle.
You know, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Neku, you've been very quiet.
I think he's been muted.
No?
Oh no, I'm fine. Gosh, there's been a lot we've been discussing. I mean, I guess that'd be the first. I'll respond to the last thing you talked about. Like, he's very right about, like, the kind of two extremes, like overly principled. You don't change them even when it's a detriment. But then you got the West where there's just nothing and it's just chaos.
Yeah, we're losing our principles. Like, that's the thing. Morality is becoming like more like there's a lot of kids that aren't even like being brought up as well as like my parents and even your parents brought us. Like, you know, like
the problem is, guys, from my experience of the world and from learning about the history of the world, it's either all of it or none of it. There is no happy medium. We tried having a happy medium where we satisfy everyone, and quite frankly, it has failed. When I was a baby, right, in the late 90s, early 2000s, if Neku tried to marry a man in any part of the Western world, he'd be shunned and abused and condemned, right? And that's within Dash's lifetime. Dash was probably like...
I was around in the 2000s. I remember, like, you know, like, there was, like people were talking about gay marriage, and, like, even, like, as a Catholic, I always thought, like, but they're not getting married in a church, so, like, why do we care so much? Like, what... You know, that's how I thought about it, like, back then. But, like, even I, like, you know, I was like, you know, like, the me of, like, then would be very surprised at, like, how I turned out.
Well, forceful change doesn't work, right? Gradualism does.
Well, I was going to say, you know, as probably the oldest person on this panel, you know, I mean, I grew up in the 80s. And, you know, a lot of people don't know this because, you know, people will assume that... that you know, things were like, oh, you know, gays go home and, you know, brick throwing and all that. But, you know, again, my mother, a hairstylist, grew up around a lot of, you know, LGBTQ people, because a lot of people, you know, this is not surprising anyone. A lot of those people end up becoming hairstylists, right?
Of course.
But, you know, and I grew up around most of those people, and they were cool because they didn't, you know, tell you every 5 minutes what their sexual preference was. They wanted to do that in the privacy of their own home. They want to be left alone. They didn't carry a flag and wave it around. Yeah. They didn't need to you know, blare it from a megaphone. Now, you knew, you know, if you sort of, you kind of knew, but nobody oppressed those people. They didn't feel oppressed. They didn't feel marginalized. They were just cool being who they were. If you were cool with them. It was the same thing with, like, black people. Yeah. Like, to be honest, like they pushed all this, like, racism stuff. Whereas, like, you know, I thought, like, you know, shit was, like, seemed like getting better. And, like, hell, I remember when Obama, like, you know, I thought, like, oh my god, like, this is the end of racism.
And then like things just
But
got
he kicked
worse
it off.
under Obama.
He kicked it off. Look, I could find my old, class pictures, and you'll see whites, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, Jewish, Muslim kids, Russians. All right, all in the same class. We all got along. Look, my 11th birthday party when I got Final Fantasy 1.
I had my school. Like in high school, like he got to prance around however he want, and some people thought it was cringe. I thought it was kind of cringe, but it's like like the school didn't do anything. It's just whatever. It's just there's so much revisionist history with these. Like they try to make it like they villainize the past so much. When really, we've been a lot better. We had more
tolerance. We lost tolerance because of the way things are.
Absolutely. They've made the world a worse place because, and they've made it harder for people. They've made it harder for me. They've made it harder for Deku. They've made it harder for a lot of people because people only see like these loud, obnoxious,
And when I meet those more conservative people, they're surprised to learn I'm bi because oh, you're not annoying like those activists I've seen in the news and on TV.
Yeah. Look, the way I look at it, and Digny knows this, I don't give a damn if someone's straight, gay, left, right, even Jewish, Muslim, Chinese, Japanese. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. And that's how the world should operate. And you can even disagree with somebody. People don't have to take every one of your views. And that
is another thing. We've created this culture where I'm going to blame the left on this. But even it exists on the right too, that you have to agree with someone 100% of the time. Like Jace, political things. I'm not maybe as anti-Israel as you might be. But I'm also not pro Netanyahu.
Exactly. You can have a more moderate or have no opinion. You can have no opinion, or you can have a moderate opinion or whatever, and that's cool. Why do people? And by the way, the dash, this was a big theme on last night's Kansas podcast, is that on the right it's become worse. You have to either be completely I am basically with the Austrian painter, or you have to be completely I am absolutely pro-Trump no matter what he does. His poop doesn't smell bad. And if you're any deviation in the middle, like the other, they'll all dogpile on you like you don't have principles. I do have principles. I have the same principles I've always had. I'm not going to change them, to appease any sort of groupthink.
Yeah, nuance has been dead the past 10 years.
Yes.
I will say this. With everyone speaking, I'm just looking here I feel like I'm on the extreme here.
Well, Damien, you have a very interesting perspective because you live in one of the last bastions of civilization in Africa, which is saying something. But
I was going to say a bastion of civilization.
Well, compared to the rest of Africa, yes. And I think it's very important for people to realize that the Western perspective is not the only perspective. We need to get the perspective of Latin Americans, Middle Easterners, for better or for worse, Africans, for better or for worse, Indians, for better or for worse, the Chinese. Look, folks, right? India and China is a quarter of the planet. And Africa, it's a third of the planet. We don't get barely any of their perspective on the Western world, apart from the ones that invade our shores and eat our people, okay? Or get run over by trains. But we need to get people's perspectives from across the world in the same way that a British person and an American person can argue over different things. We should have an American person argue with an African person on, gay marriage. Could you imagine that? Neku against Dr. Singwa Hingwa.
Why are you gay?
Or whatever his name is. Simon Kagwa, who became famous from that.
To just tell you about that dude, he might be a little bitter with the gays because he was seen hanging out with one of our very, very gay celebrities. They even took pictures together.
Because he left Uganda. But the point I'm trying to make is, folks, if we are going to live on this world together, we need to essentially balance the world and its various perspectives. As much as we all live in tough times, especially Jace, we have to understand that the top 10% of planet Earth, 800 million people, live in the Western world. Okay? And there are far more wealthier people in our part of the world than in parts of the world that are literally so poor they cannot move two sticks together without getting fined in some parts of the world. So as hard as our lives can be, especially in Jace's case, my God, man, there are some parts of the world where you're fucked. It doesn't matter how hard you work. You're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also on the same token, I mean, on the bright side, when you say that, that you get a fine if you just rub two sticks together, that reminds me, Digny, make sure you recycle. Remember, that was a whole thing too. This, you have to recycle, you'll get a fine. Do you have a license for that? I mean, it's ridiculous.
And if you don't pay the fine, you can go to prison. Literally, in the United Kingdom, you can get thrown in prison for not sorting your trash.
Jeez.
If you don't recycle in the UK, you're a criminal.
Airstrip 1 is no longer a story, it's reality.
Exactly.
Listen, all you need to do is just make sure you're non-white, and all of those things will disappear.
Well, that's why Mustafa made him several different versions of himself.
Exactly.
He made him multiple Dignies.
We like to keep the show at around 2 hours, so we'll save our two other topics for another time.
But I want to end on a bonus thing, like that popcorn thing. You can show it.
You can show it if you want to. I'm just amazed the guy didn't eat the popcorn because he's massive, right? But I'll tell you this, Damien. At least I don't use whiteface to cover up the fact that I'm an Indian. Huh? Because he does. He uses whiteface.
Ooh.
All right. So, Digny sent me this.
Yeah. That is the thinnest American I've ever seen.
Oh, I've seen this before.
I'm surprised you didn't immediately go for a Roger joke.
Well, yeah.
I used to work in the theater.
Roger isn't on camera anymore.
Oh, damn. You guys bullied Roger into not showing him. Damn.
I didn't do nothing.
No. I mean, no, I know it was all Digny.
I work with this guy, Kai, right? And I'm having this great conversations with Kai. And then this motherfucker Roger comes along, eats one of my regulars and takes his place. I'm like, you fat fuck. You just ate one of my regulars. If I let you get away with that, you're going to eat Dash and Jace and Damien and Neku.
Is this the Majin Buu saga?
Oh, good God. Do all that, you'll be half the size of this cunt. Okay.
Well, Roger's VTuber, when he was Kai, was being a shonen protagonist, so it fits. He got Majin Buu'd.
I just want people to be open, honest, and transparent. Okay. I want Damien to be proud about his Indian African heritage instead of playing whiteface. Okay.
Listen, I will be proud. I'll be proud of my German heritage.
Yeah, you can be one of those brown Amazonian twinks or whatever the fuck they're called, okay?
Wait, does that mean he's actually from Botswana?
No.
Oh, damn.
Fucking
You shouldn't be ashamed of being brown, Damien.
Hey, right, Kitty, how's it going?
Unfortunately, there's not much to be proud of when it comes to
You shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. Okay, that is the foundation for the old white road under Dash Attack. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Neku is not ashamed of being a happily married man. Damien should not be ashamed of being an Indo-European twink. Jay shouldn't be ashamed that he's working 3 jobs to support the millstone that is his mother around his neck. I shouldn't be ashamed that the fact that I've turned into Pinocchio to have a second lease of life as a content creator. And Dash Attack should not be ashamed.
I have definitely become more comfortable. But the thing is, it's just because I just don't want, because I have some family that subscribe but don't watch my content. I just don't want them hearing one of the Old White Road shows and hearing you like
no.
it
Don't show
would-
them this show. Don't.
Wait, I just had a revelation. If Digny is Pinocchio, right? Then just follow my train of thought here. That means that essentially this person is Tinkerbell, and that's disturbing, but also I guess it is what it is.
Then who's
So,
Geppetto? Oh God.
Oh boy. Yeah. And
let's take a look.
Neko missed this earlier, so it's
Yeah,
it's
you
great.
missed the clown sled thing.
this is Digny's Tinkerbell.
Doesn't she look lovely?
Oh, I just no.
I never understood the clown thing.
No.
New fetish just dropped.
I don't know what's wrong. Oh, wait, I do know what's wrong with you guys, but you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Okay?
I know an
She
artist
should not be ashamed of her clown background.
Women. It's just not with clown makeup. Like maybe
Why
if
not?
it was a good Harley Quinn cosplay, maybe, but not this.
You're not a fan of clown sluts, really?
Particularly.
They have great tongue work. It's amazing.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez. Oh,
Great
my
tongue
God.
work.
Oh,
Okay.
my, this
But,
is the end
we-
of the
we
show, you
appreciate-
guys.
We appreciate everyone supporting the Cartoon News Network, and we're very happy to have gotten to the 30 episode
Yeah.
milestone.
And and I apologize for the black background. StreamYard's just decided they want a paywall that my nice
Wow.
Naruto background over.
Where's the StreamYard ducky?
Yeah, that is weird that it's not showing. It might be a glitch.
It's absolutely
Maybe they got rid of
insane,
it.
folks.
This
insane.
platform is so fucking weird.
You know, I just noticed Neku's nipple. You noticed
Oh,
his
he
nipple?
did
Oh,
the
sure.
thing. He must have hit the
No,
keybind.
no.
Yeah, I know. I noticed all of a sudden his pecs got huge, and I'm like, am I hallucinating? Did that happen, or did I just?
That's
There must be
Neku.
more than one key binding because it's supposed to be just numbers.
Neku,
oh wow.
I said this before. You should not be ashamed of who you are. Okay?
I also believe
right.
there's a time and place for everything. That's
Yep.
why I'm not a degenerate journalist.
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
you know,
there you
that's
go.
the, I mean, back to our earlier conversation is just that, like, these people that can't, like, be normal, like, for one, like, minute.
I think it's that they overshare because they have a legit like agenda with it. Instead of just being into what they're into, they want to push it on people. It would be like Dash, if you walked up to a stranger and you started telling them all your fetishes, all your kinks, like somebody you don't even know. And the journalists like to do that, and then they tell you that you're a bigot if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
It
that's,
should-
that's
you know-
wrong. Like, you don't do that to people. Like, don't.
Yeah.
And I think there's two reasons this can happen. One, you're an entitled person, or two, you're so insecure about it, you need validation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And this is the thing. If you, and I've said this before, these are people who need to see themselves. If you need to see yourself, buy a mirror. If you're comfortable with who you are, then it doesn't matter what anybody else out there thinks of you, regardless
Speaking
of
of
if you're,
people-
what you're into.
Speaking of
Oh.
people who are comfortable about who they are, the quartering folks, courtesy of Brittany Venti. So just to sum things up, Jeremy from the quartering says he will do anything to have my babies. He is married. Lies, manipulates, and flexes that he'll try to deplatform the Kino Casino guys for laughing at him oversharing. I call him out. He goes on stream last night saying that I'm I just go to
Yeah, show more.
Show more.
that I'm 40 years old, single and childless rather. He got trolled. Meanwhile, he himself is in his 40s and him and his wife have no children. Christian behavior, by the
Yeah.
way.
And
The thing is, for me, if this
We
came
all-
from anyone else but Brittany Venti, I'd actually be on his side. But
I know.
Venti is a horrible person.
Yes, just
I don't
like
know enough about her.
99.9% of
You-
successful content.
All I know
creators.
is the quartering decided he wanted to be a trad cuck, and it's blowing up in his face. Like it mostly
What do you
does.
mean?
Like
Yeah,
You mean Jack
yeah,
Murphy?
yeah. And
Jack
he went.
Murphy all over again.
He's been getting into fights with Robert Barnes. I saw he got into blocking Yellow Flash just for talking about it. He got mad at a joke from Bugle Daily, and it's seeing a lot of bridge burning and stuff like that. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn what Quartering's into one way or another. It doesn't affect me in my day to day. But I do think that if you start aggressively lashing out at people who also, by the way, you were formerly amicable with, people do start to notice, and it's sort of like a snowball effect, and it just gets worse and worse.
Something behind the scenes is going on, like for him to burn this many bridges, all at once.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to hate on him. Dude got his money. Get your bag, bro. Congratulations. But this sort of drama, he's facilitating more of it. And he cannot play the victim if he's facilitating the drama. You just can't.
Exactly. And since we are talking about the future, folks, I guess it's time for future plans. And we're going to start off with Damien. So what are your future plans, Damien?
Oh, my future plans. I will be recording a few videos. Not as spicy as the stream I done on Thursday, unfortunately. I'll be playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Saturday and doing a D&D session on Sunday. And that's about it for me.
Excellent. Also, the Pope could run for president. That would be very interesting. The Holy Roman United States of America Empire. That would be very interesting. What about you, Neku? What would your future plans be if the Pope ruled America?
My plan is if the Pope ruled America. Well, I'd still be making music, and I have a gig coming up in May for Cinco de Mayo.
Nice.
Well, good. Speaking of the Pope...
I'd recommend if the president becomes the Pope or the Pope becomes the president, Neku, run.
Vatican City is 1 month away from a nuke. Netanyahu wars. This is satire.
It's the Babylon
take your husband and run. Okay?
See, this is why I wanted Pizza Balla to be the next Pope. He's a moderate. And yes, that is his name.
There's a reason Americans should never become the Pope, because they might become president. Okay?
Boy.
Thank you for that, Neku. Hopefully you get better soon and you can start a family with your husband.
All right. Jace, your turn.
Hey, yeah, I'm Jace with Cancel This Podcast. I'm about to go hang out with my girlfriend for the night, so no streaming tonight from me. I will be back to streaming sometime tomorrow. Right now, I'm making my way through several games. I've been playing Final Fantasy 11 on a private server, Cat's Eye 11, Turtle WoW, which I play in place of retail World of Warcraft. But primarily right now, my focus has been finishing the entire Suikoden series. So I'll be streaming Suikoden 4 probably over the weekend. Also, because I'm too crude for YouTube for obvious reasons that I'm loud, obnoxious, from New York, Puerto Rican, straight. I am over on Rumble, so you can follow us at rumble.com. Cancel This Podcast. We'll be doing our premium Rumble stream for subscribers and supporters on Sunday. Don't know what game I'm bringing out. It's going to be a mystery game, as it typically tends to be every time we do our premium streams. So be sure to check that out. That'll be at 9:15 p.m. on Sunday. And then Dignity and John will be back on the Cancel This Podcast channel on Tuesday for happy hour at 5 p.m. Eastern. Was glad to be here and catch up with Dash and the panel. Love you guys. And also shout out Galaxy Red, who unfortunately is still with problems, but we'll hopefully see Galaxy Red back here next week.
Excellent. I appreciate everyone for being here, and it's very nice that I can be on probably my favorite network show where I can wear this.
That's Digny's marathon.
Save it for June, man.
That's Digny's marathon skin.
You need to understand that the flag on your hat is copyrighted, so you need to remove it.
Oh yeah, the ugly one's
right?
copyrighted.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. So.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This.
Well,
That reminds me. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Hold on. Let me see.
Should I get into? No, yeah, you could show one more thing, Jace. I'm fine.
This is what I did to troll John. Is it finally gone? I think they finally deleted our Blue Sky account. I did this to troll. No, it's still there. All right, so let me go to profile. I did this to troll John when Blue Sky came out. And this is cancel this podcast.bsky.social with the logo. And I said, John would like to learn how to be a better ally, resist. And the only two people he is following are a couple Marks, Mark Ruffalo and Mark Hamill.
Well, following the marks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the two lame Marks with the shittiest takes.
More videos, more shows. I can't wait for the Pope to become America's next president because the Papal States will finally be back.
Oh boy!
Jeez!
More marks.
You should never, ever have made the Pope an American.
We're all gonna die in the crusade, aren't we?
I mean, like, if there's 40K memes involved with the Holy American Theocracy, like, you know, like, but I know which will like scare the shit out of the left.
It's possible because he is an American. He was born there. He has voted. The Vatican is not technically a foreign country, although it is. So he's technically a foreign leader, but he is American.
This is
a U.S.
something
citizen,
you know about America, but most of our presidents, except for Kennedy and Biden, if you consider him winning, we're never like, it's very Protestant leading.
Yeah.
Like the only Catholic president like literally got shot.
Yeah.
By the way, one more thing quick for you guys. New job opportunity just dropped for gamers. This will probably be a subject somewhere throughout the week.
Trump calls on gamers to become air traffic control.
Flight sim specialist, now is your time.
Okay, so since this is derailed, I'm going to give my future plans. I might play some more Crimson Desert. No appearances this Saturday. So just keep an eye out on my channel for stuff that I'm doing. And I think I might have a guest for next week. I'm going to see if they can come.
Good.
Is it the clown lady? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I hope so. But Trump, I tell you this for the last time, Trump. I may have played Ace Combat 7 and Project Wingman, but I am not flying your planes to do what you want me to do, okay? For the last time, okay?
Do what you want for the shekels.
I want the Pope to become a presidential candidate so that the entire Catholic world financially supports him to become America's president. Well, folks, if an orange man billionaire can become president, then why not the Pope?
Honestly, if that happened, this might cause fights between me and my mom.
Oh boy.
I know, not depending. I don't have any real opinions. I didn't really like Francis, so like.
Well, he was Argentinian. I didn't like him either because he's Argentinian. But folks, if you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. Donations, of course, are always welcome. We appreciate everyone for watching today's show, whether it's live or on replay. Do understand, yes, the idea of the Pope becoming president is crazy. Now, also understand a billionaire businessman whose hair color is the same color as his face is also crazy, but you still fucking elected him twice or 3 times, depending on the narrative. And then Damien disappears. And now he's back.
Yep. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.